We are going to have a rapidly growing population, and if the trends hold, we're going to have a rapidly growing low-income population. And so if those youth and younger adults don't have the ability or opportunities to get better jobs, have higher paying wages, have savings, then the quality of life for all of us is not going to be as bright.
I think the wealth of this community is not as much about money as it is about the people that are here and how we can help those people bring all of their talents to the table.
We look at the greater Austin area and try to figure out what are the crucial issues that affect our community and where are they, and then we bring together all these unique players in our community to figure out what can we bring to the table, and then we unlock that potential value that each group has and channel it into the best possible outcomes.
As a social service provider myself, I have complete confidence in United Way in their investment in us, because I know that we have gone through that process and have demonstrated to them what we're going to do with the funding and how that's going to make an impact in the community.
We invest in early childhood development because we know from prize-winning economists that there's a huge return on investment, probably the greatest return on investment of all social service investments.
Even just trying to use your money for the community most wisely, when you invest in that age group, it goes much, much further for the long-term goals of the community.
Early childhood interventions are transformative to young children, less likely to get pregnant when they're teenagers, less likely to be involved in juvenile justice systems.
If any child doesn't have the opportunity to succeed, then that's a community tragedy, and we shouldn't be okay with that.
We invest in middle school because we've identified it as a major tipping point, and we address this complex issue both in and out of the classroom.
Working with all the nonprofit providers, working with the school counselors, that kind of coordination or collaboration wasn't necessarily happening before.
It takes tutoring, it takes counseling, it addresses the individualistic needs of those children, and it brings it all into one program.
Understanding that helping one middle school student helps that family, changes the trajectory of their life by giving them hope and letting them just put down those walls and really just embrace education.
We would be spending our dollars better if we focused on giving students that opportunity now instead of waiting for them to either drop out of school or get into trouble.
The average high school dropout costs society $40,000 more than they ever contribute in taxes.
We invest in financial education because it's an issue for most of us. 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and many Austinites don't have enough in savings to cover common emergencies like a car breaking down or a hospital bill. They may not realize that they can set aside a little money each month, and the next time they have an emergency with their car, they can use their savings for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to, and that affects whether they're able to get to work. And if they're not able to get to work, then you can kind of see how the picture unfolds, and just awareness of what's out there can be the difference between a cycle of poverty and a path of growth for someone.
We invest in truly valuable information. That is the Navigation Center, connecting people to resources at their time of need.
The Navigation Center receives 400,000 calls a year from people trying to understand and negotiate the Health and Human Service system.
Without any direction, it's so confusing. There's so many different services, and it's all a big web. And I think that's what we do, is we help people navigate through that web.
We're able to understand and report back to our community that these are needs that are unmet, and this is why.
Hands on Central Texas is, like United Way, a convener of volunteer opportunities and volunteers.
Finding opportunities to get involved in the community in areas where you don't live or you don't participate otherwise often opens your eyes to what's the rest of the world actually like.
Whether it was cleaning, painting, educating them, in every capacity, these people came in and opened their hearts to our students. And the power of just seeing the students be inspired by the kindness of these adults who they didn't realize cared about them.
It's happening literally from an army of citizens and philanthropists who care about this community, who are getting involved.
The business community or individuals can give money and give time, but you've got to have that leadership, you've got to have that organization that truly is engaged and cares about solving problems, not just kind of maintenance.
We only address the symptoms. They address the entire problem as a whole, and they look for the root, and they actually address the root of the problem.
The United Way really provides that opportunity for everybody to be a philanthropist.
We can contribute, you know, even that dollar is very profound.
You can contribute $10 a month, $120 a year, and you're going to make a difference in somebody's life.
Seeing the principal saying, this is the impact it's having on these specific children's lives, I mean, that is just amazing to be a part of.
If you told me the United Way was going, I'd be picketing down at the Capitol, because I need the United Way here at Decker Middle School. We've seen too much change to go back to the way it used to be.
United Way provides that spark, that support, the information, the people, all these things to make sure that that small idea of how can I help someone turns into I'm now helping thousands of people.
I'm like, you can't put a dollar amount on that.